JARBO marketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today. Providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price, our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
You can make Christmas special for local families. Shepherd Community Center needs your donation for toys, hats, and gloves for children in need this holiday season. If you believe Christmas is about caring for others, help us make it special by sharing your blessings this season in the lives of those struggling. Help a child today. For more information on how to donate or volunteer, call 317-375-0203 or visit shepherdcommunity.org.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with 0 body fillers, 0 painting, and 0 diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Welcome back. For those of you that watch the program on Facebook, you will be, I have to apologize. As I was getting everything up and running here, I have it all set up. I didn't hit the record button this morning. Oz said to me, she said, "Did you put this on Facebook?" I said, "Well, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it right here." But then I looked and I saw that the record button was not pressed. We're having a little bit. The camera that's on me is frozen at the moment. So if you're watching live, you'll just see our logo on the screen until I figure out what's going on with that. By the way, I want to mention, too, before we get back to this Texas case, we're in the Christmas season. I know there is so much going on. Christmas, folks, is just 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away. I love this time of year. I love the holidays. It's different now, given where we are. In fact, that's really what Shepherd is facing, Shepherd Community. They do this Christmas drive, this toy drive every year for the families that they serve, the kids in particular. And this year, the way that they collect gifts is different because of COVID. They have things that they've been doing for years that they've had to change and so forth. And so we had a conversation, and I said, let's see what our listeners would be willing to do to help out. And that's with the Shepherd Community Program called Caring at Christmas. You can find out more by visiting caringatchristmas.com. But essentially, this is your opportunity to give back and to help Shepherd help those families in need. It's a great thing to do. Shepherd does this the right way. Again, I think very, very highly of Jay and his team, their philosophy, how they go about doing these things. Just wonderful stuff happening at Shepherd Community. But caringatchristmas.com is the site where you can find more information. You can also bring toys in person to drop-off locations if you don't want to shop online or do it that way. If you want to drop things off, go for it. We've got drop-off locations. One is at the Freedom 95 studios in Franklin. One is at our offices in Mooresville. And the other, you can meet the team, by the way, Bubbles and Paws and Pedals. And the other is at Mr. Quick Home Services on 86th Street in Indianapolis. So I want to quickly, Oz is telling me it's actually time to take a break, but I want to get back and set this back up. This Supreme Court case in Texas. All right, so the Supreme Court case in Texas, I was reading from Breitbart here. We listed the two reasons, the two clauses, constitutional clauses that the state of Texas, Mr. Paxson, has listed as reasons for filing this case in Texas. One is it violates these states violated the Electors Clause. They violated the Equal Protection Clause because they had different rules and procedures for voters in different counties. And there's actually a third, according to Breitbart here. It says Texas argues that there were voting irregularities in these states as a result of the above. So, I mean, I guess in my mind, there's two reasons, and they're claiming that that's what happened. So, you know, you have a defined process for how your state chooses electors, and you've created a mess for yourself because you've broken your own rules. And so folks are saying, what? The laws say that electors are going to be awarded based upon who wins that particular state's popular vote. Now, there's some exceptions with some states. I'm just saying in general, this is how this is done. So it's predetermined. The legislature doesn't really go through the process of saying, who are we going to award our electors to? We just look to the vote of the popular vote in our state, and it's a simple, okay, we'll send those electors because this candidate won. The problem is, if you violated so many of your rules, and this case doesn't get into fraud, but let's throw the fraud in there as well for the painting of the picture, and there is voter fraud or at least irregularities, at some point you have to scratch your head and say, how do we account for such a small margin of victory in these states? Georgia is 12,284 votes, I think, separating Trump and Biden. Wisconsin, something like 20,000. How do you know if you're a legislature? Your law says, hey, whoever wins the popular vote gets the electors. Okay, well, but who won? That's kind of the point. Who won? And this, again, is not accusing fraud, this particular case. It's saying who won if we're looking at a situation where the laws weren't followed. The laws weren't followed. You have chain of custody, the documents that can't be provided. The law just wasn't followed across the board. Dates were extended. Rules were set aside all under the guise of COVID, under the guise of this. And I'm not saying that there's nothing to be concerned about with COVID or what. I'm not even talking. I'm just saying it's the job of the legislature. The legislature could have changed those rules. They didn't. The government did, the executive branch, some election official. The court came in and said, sure, go for it. Have at it. Do whatever you need to do. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that's effectively where we found ourselves. I mean, those of us that followed this would say, of course, this was the rule, or this was the tactic that they chose to use, because we know that the left, doesn't like, the radical left doesn't like any voting laws. They don't like IDs. They don't like voting in person. They want to make this as easy and as ripe with fraudulent. They want to be able to come in and do exactly what they've been accused of doing. There are radicals on the left that this is absolutely, unequivocally, positively what they look for. Now, this isn't in the case. This is just what I'm saying to you. Texas is pointing out that that is obviously a problem. When you have rules, you don't follow them. We all have an agreement on how we choose our electors. These 4 states have made such a mess that we have no idea. So now Texas is saying to the Supreme Court, look, you have to allow the state legislatures to appoint their electors. You can no longer, just say whoever won the most votes based upon numbers that who knows if they're true following the rules. You have to now allow these state legislatures to appoint their electors. Now, these state legislatures then can do whatever they choose. They can do any number of things. They can appoint legislatures or electors as they desire. They could say they're going to stay with Biden. They could say they're all going to go to Trump. They could say some are going to go to Biden, some are going to go to Trump. That is up to the legislature. You keep hearing this term plenary power. This is a fundamental power of state legislatures as according to the Constitution. The election is messed up. The legislatures are responsible ultimately for choosing electors. Many legislatures have simply said we're going to let the people vote, and however they vote is how we're going to assign the electors. But what happens if your election laws were not followed? Right? It's like, if there was an NFL football game, I saw there was an NFL football game last night. There's football games all the time because they're being rescheduled because of COVID and whatever else. But at some point, there's rules to the game. If the rules are not followed so much, right? If suddenly you're driving down the field and you get to the 50-yard line and they say touchdown, you say, wait a minute, that's not a touchdown. That's the 50-yard line. Nope, it's a touchdown because of COVID, we don't want people running 100 yards. We just want them running 50 yards. Okay. So it's a touchdown. They put points on the board. At some point, someone's got to make sense of all this. Someone scores a touchdown. Well, we want to give you 3 points instead of 6 for that touchdown. At some point, someone's got to come in and clean up the mess. And you have to say, look, we don't even know what the score really would have been because the team got to the 50-yard line. They gave them 6 points, and they made them kick the ball off to the other team. They gave them a touchdown. At some point, we don't even know what the outcome is because it was not followed. The rules were not followed at all. I think, again, I'm not a lawyer, but I think this is certainly something worth. It's a very valid argument in my estimation. So, timeout is necessary. Quick timeout here. You're listening to Conservative, Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Corin Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corin Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.